Well, I didn't know any different. That's the thing. You are how you are until you're different. How I define my center is based on a listening. To me, centering is really all about listening. Listening to myself, my body, other signals and cues around me that guide me all the time and keep me centered. They allow me to go off my path just the right amount to get the lessons and then guide me back.
My name's Johanna New Moon, and I came here for a weekend in 1970 for a party. So when I was in high school, I found that smoking cigarettes was a really great way to be centered.
Find your center because that is our natural state. So it's important for everyone to find their center and then have practices or ways to stay in that center and allow yourself to, as I say, kind of go off. It's because then you can only see center as well from here. And then you get into it and you know it. You know, like no one knows who discovered water, but we're pretty sure it isn't a fish because a fish is in the water. They don't even know they're home in a sense, but they know. And so you're getting to that place, and then sometimes you can go out and get a different perspective.
I think we were all born centered, and as time goes by, through conditioning of various sources, we lose touch with our center. And out of that rise a lot of complications and challenges, both for ourselves and perhaps societies at large or in large. And being back in your center allows you to be more focused on what's important, both for yourself and perhaps even for the world.
It's waking up every morning and giving gratitude for my life.
I make my living in electronic engineering. I work primarily in the telecom field. Been doing that for a better part of 20 years. And it's can often be a very sterile environment. Electronics, computers, a lot of fans, typically indoors. And I find a real call to get out of that environment whenever I can, typically on weekends, and just immerse myself in nature. And that's what I find is it just sends me back to my center so quickly.
That was a huge breakthrough for me, to acknowledge that connection and to feel held by Gaia, by the Earth Mother, and know that she's always there. When I feel the need to come back to center, that I feel that I've gone off center too far, I love to ride my bike around here. I love to cycle. It's a meditation for me.
So I went from smoking, then I went drinking. You know, drinking seemed to be a kind of thing because you relax, right? So I thought, oh, being centered is like, oh, I'm relaxed. Whoa, man, I'm really relaxed. Wait a minute, I can't walk. Okay, I'm not centered. Like I was so uncentered that I couldn't even hear and resonate with music. It was like, right? So we got through that one. Being centered. I would define being centered as a peacefulness and a serenity to the point that you're able to actually feel every part of your body and every cell. And it would be a form of breathing so that everything is a feeling of complete unity. So I think a feeling of centeredness is basically a feeling of unity. Unity inward, outward. Buddhist mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum. And I just go to the garden and I start working and I chant, right? And I learned how to keep a beat and I started playing drums. Okay, I learned how to dance.
So for me, centering is more about, not so much about place, but more about a state of being. So you can be centered wherever you are, and to learn how to find your grounding and centering wherever you are, not need to escape to a certain place, because it may not be accessible to you in that moment.
I would define being centered as being me, James. Now, here,
Right.
with all my thoughts here, rather than the future or the past, like right here.
Find my center. Well, I think the soul.
That sounds good.
Define your center.